Topeka, Kansas. Shawnee County deputies pursued two male suspects in a car with Minnesota plates. The driver refused to stop for a minor traffic violation, a telling sign that these boys have something to hide.
Still northbound going by White Lakes.
The suspects rocket down the city street, right into a pack of cars at a red light.
They're getting caught up in traffic.
But they plow their way through, leaving the primary unit stuck in traffic.
Move forward!
Seeing the deputy stranded, one of the backup units races up to take the lead.
Looks like 872's got the lead, and we're going northbound from Furs now.
An unmarked unit pulls ahead to take the secondary position. They all have to drive at treacherous speeds to catch up with the suspects. A camera in the unmarked unit captures a terrifying close call. The officer barely avoids disaster. Even with all this horsepower on their tail, the suspects remain far ahead of their pursuers. Now they're headed straight for downtown. Deputies resort to driving on the wrong side of the road just to gain ground. Slow-moving traffic hinders the units, costing them even more time. When the officers finally get around the cars, the suspects are nowhere in sight. The officers hesitate at the next intersection. They don't know which way to turn. Then suddenly, the answer comes screaming right at them. The suspects come within inches of demolishing the unmarked unit. The deputy whips a U-turn and becomes the primary unit once again.
653 in the lead now. We're going westbound on 12.
The officers push the patrol cars to the limit. Finally, they catch up with the suspects.
It looks like we're going to go northbound on Topeka now. Northbound on Topeka.
In spite of the suspects' breakneck speeds and wild maneuvering, they still find officers in their rearview mirror. It's time to make a tough choice.
We're slowed down to 40 now. 10th and Topeka. 10th and Topeka at about 40 miles an hour.
The suspects pull over. Officers are ready for anything from these maniacs. But when they open their doors, all they do is surrender.
What's your malfunction?
The two men were in town to send out a drug shipment. Having already unloaded their contraband, they thought there was nothing left to tie them to the deal. They didn't realize that a recovered shipping invoice would lead officers to the package they sent out that morning. A package containing enough drug evidence to put them away for a long time.
Intern ano pa lang sila? Intern staff. Parang ganun. Mabilis lang naman yun. Kung ano sa mek? Ganda sa mek. Panigurado. Kasi doon naman talaga sila. Ikaw tingin ko dito talaga sa English. Pili ko ang iyong calling ay ang maging EMS director. Nasa withdrawn pa rin mo sila? Sure lang? Sabi niya, napapagod na daw siya mag-ipan. Turo ko kaya sa kanila yung oxy. Farm ng BM. Farm ng BM, benta na sa amin. Sa game. Benta nila sa game. 1:1. Parang meron silang connection sa game. Parang may ikot kong mga game. Tapos, pag may connection na sila sa game, baka pwede na silang usan ng mga Yaris. Hindi ba? Ang talino ko, diba? Hindi pa naman siya, ano. Hindi pa siya kumikita sa bin machine niya. Isip na siya naman. Nangalin. Bukas sa thank you. Sige. Ako na pa kayo. Alin. About sa? Bak mo hinayang ako? Putang ina, ano pang hihinayangan mo? Tangin na siya lang pinanghinayangan ko. Ano bang hihinayangan ko? Ha? Ano? Tanginang ko yun. Mas magulo pa sa ano. Ang hihinayangan ito. Either matuwa ako or panghinayangan. Mawawala na HP. Magiging series na. Like series na. Hindi na semi. Kung sa ulo, didik ko ta. Botya ka magbigay ng gulo. Nakakainis. Hindi nakakatawa. Nakakainis. Nakaka-trigger ng ano. Ng anxiety. Ang hindi na yan. Nakatanggal ako sa EMS. Ano? Hindi. Ano, maraming matatanggal. Madaming tatanggal. Kaya ako. Ano na? Ayun na. Kunti na nga lang kami. Wala pa akong alam mo na kami natatanggap na. Kunti pa sa mahal. Kahit bagong kotse na. Bagong HP. Dito po naman kami sa isang HP. Dito.
Since 1977, the full-size Chevrolet Caprice has had the distinction of holding a dual status. One as a popular family car, its other life as a reliable fleet car, favored especially by police departments around the country. New from Chevrolet for 1991 is not only a reshaped family-style Caprice, but the Caprice Classic LTZ. The LTZ was inspired by the police equipment package. We recently tested the LTZ as well as another fleet Caprice with a very different purpose. Let's see how they both fared in civilian hands. A visual inspection will reveal only subtle outward differences of the specially equipped LTZ Caprice. A flush-mounted badge on the hood, a polished stainless steel exhaust tip, and more important, 15-inch speed-rated Eagle GT Plus 4 Blackwall tires. But it's what you can't easily see that makes the LTZ different from its siblings. The LTZ's heavy-duty stabilizer bars, springs, shocks, heavy-gauge frame, and tuned body mounts all help to deliver a tighter ride and more responsive handling. The firmer steering matches the tighter suspension feel. In quick maneuvers, the LTZ responds obediently. The LTZ's handling package is so successful that it should be standard on all Caprices. Powering the LTZ is the Caprice's standard 5-liter V8, which delivers 170 horsepower and 255 pound-feet of torque. The one thing you can't get on the LTZ is the police cruiser's 195 horsepower, 5.7-liter V8. But a larger radiator and a transmission oil cooler have been added to keep powertrain temperatures lower under strenuous driving conditions. Our Caprice LTZ made a clean getaway, running 0 to 60 in 9.9 seconds and a quarter-mile time of 17.5 seconds with a finish line speed of 79 miles per hour. On the highway, we recorded 20 miles per gallon in typical driving. EPA estimates are 17 city and 26 highway. Even more important is the fact that the LTZ's taunter suspension doesn't overly compromise highway ride. It's still very comfortable. With standard anti-lock front disc brakes and larger rear drums, the LTZ stops securely in an impressive 112 feet. Inside, there is familiar Caprice Classic styling, with again a few differences for the LTZ. Nestled in among an analog tachometer, voltmeter, temperature, and oil pressure gauges is a large digital speedometer, calibrated as it would be on a real black and white. A big, flat, but comfortable bench seat with armrest reminds us of the LTZ's call to police duty. And what's the tab for this pseudo police cruiser? Well, add only $875 for the LTZ package to the Caprice Classic's $18,470 base, and you're ready to roll. The LTZ is a pleasure to drive and the 6-passenger bargain of the year. But as we said before, the Caprice performs many different roles. While it takes some folks to the Hoosgow, it takes others to the airport. Now we turn our police badge in for a taxi driver's hack license. We had more people waving at us in this bright yellow Caprice than in the last fire engine red Ferrari we tested. The Caprice performs well as a taxi, sharing some of its suspension parts with the LTZ and police package, including front and rear stabilizer bars and special springs and shocks. Passengers will enjoy a comfortable ride through busy downtown traffic. And if the Naugahyde seats and rubber matted floors get too trashy, a quick hosing will clean them right up. The taxi package also comes with a heavy-duty cooling system, first gear lockout for longer transmission life, and a simple AM/FM radio that's ideal for traffic reports. Calling this cab your own will cost a fare of $18,629, taxi light included. Our only problem with the Caprice as a police car or taxi is its shape. It's just not the square-jawed look that always meant either a radar trap or a trip uptown. Well, while shapes do change, the Chevrolet Caprice's tradition of service stubbornly remains the same.